So we're so programmed to think about other people and thinking that they are somehow doing better than you. And this thing is like, man, it is such at the heart of everything that I do, and it's at the heart of so in the academic game, and it's at the heart of almost what everybody does. Is we're sitting here pondering and thinking about how everybody else is doing better than me. And instead of saying, hey, wait a minute, I'm pretty freaking awesome. And at the moment, also, I have control over my life. I can do things that will change my life, that will actually be really, really good for me. And I know this because all of the all of the information, all of the stuff that I put out, all of the content that I talk about, the ones that really, really do well are the ones that are tapping in to this feeling that everybody else is doing better than me and everybody else is somehow, um, just far better than where I am, and I don't have control over that situation. And those do extremely well. Those videos, those like anytime I talk about that, goes very well, does very well. But I get tired of beating that same drum myself. I it gets to me because I know that can't change my situation. I know that every time I go in that moment where I feel that everybody else is better than me, I'm doing that social comparison thing, I feel terrible about myself. So I've done as much as I can anytime that there's a moment where I'm like, I think I don't like this feeling, I get rid of it, right? Like I try to distance myself from that stuff, the social comparison stuff. And so every day I have to go down these kind of rabbit holes that don't necessarily feel good to me, but hopefully you hear a message of hope. Hopefully you hear you can turn yourself around. And it doesn't matter what particular position that you're in, you have control over your life and you can do some extraordinary things. But the challenge is that it's going to be hard and it's going to take a long time typically. You might see some significant progress right at the beginning, but the real progress takes a long, long time after that. And to get your sort of belief into that, I think is an important thing. And I think we all go through these moments and you'll see like significant progress in the first couple of weeks of doing something. But then all of a sudden when that progress dissipates and you don't have that anymore, that's where you have to pick yourself up and say, yep, nobody else is going to do this except for me. I need to actually do this and I need to change this around. It's all about what you want to do inside, and it has very little in terms of what the world can do to you, right? Like the world is going to be nasty. It's not going to be good to you. But it's about how you transform yourself relative to that world because the world does not care, right? And so if you absorb some of that stuff, then you're going to be a nasty person. You're not going to do anything. But if you stand up and you say, I am going to take charge of my life, I'm going to do the things that are healthy, um, then you change yourself. You become a different person. And it doesn't, like I say, it all doesn't matter. I've sort of done systematically. When I was about 13 years old, um, I had this belief that, there's different pillars in my life, and I sort of had to get control over these different pillars, and you could sort of excel in them. It would be the fitness aspect of thing, your diet, your, I don't know, your different aspects, your education. And as I've grown older, I've checked box basically all of those different things, And the process is always the same. It's always a difficult, it always seems very quick and easy at the beginning, and then it's a slow and difficult grind. And then after that, it becomes this very challenging long-term game where it seems like you go backwards and you're sort of fighting this. It's kind of a balance. Like sometimes you lose it and sometimes you don't. And it's this never ending sort of balancing act of you teetering at the edge where it seems like everything is going to fall apart, but you just keep balancing at that particular thing. And I think we need to acknowledge that we have control over those things, right? The process is challenging. It always really is challenging. But once you get to that sort of steady state, it becomes kind of like a what they call a homeostasis, a steady state, where it doesn't necessarily change dramatically, but you know that things will dissipate if you actually pursue or if you let things go too much. So I want everybody to realize that you can control all of those things and you have to just set the ball in. So this is what I've learned is you set the ball rolling, and once it starts rolling it keeps rolling, and it's hard to stop that particular ball. And that's where you have to get your mindset where you just get going and you let that ball roll over and over and over again and let it happen naturally without getting so tense about what is actually happening, right? So, you know, if you're worried about your health, for example, just go for walks. That's all you need to do. Very simple walks. You don't need a lot of money for shoes, and you just go for walks every day and you'd be surprised at what happens. I mean, if you're worried about your diet, just start taking out one thing, one little tiny thing every couple weeks, and until it actually starts working for you, until you find the right thing that sort of fits for you. But it's not taking out, it's sort of finding the right substitute or finding the right sort of combination that works for you. I think we need to, I think we just need to figure out how we can not get absorbed with the hate, the sort of just angriness, I guess, of the world, and just live our life peacefully, and just live our life as if we are doing the best we can at this moment. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.